There's a reason some of the most productive farms in the world don't rely on chemical fertilizers, and it's not luck. It's knowledge passed down through generations, refined through observation, patience, and a deep understanding of how nature actually works. Today, we're uncovering one of those powerful techniques that has quietly sustained fertile soils and abundant harvests for decades: fermented plant juice, or FPJ. This isn't just another gardening trend floating around the internet. It's a cornerstone of Korean natural farming, a system built on working with living ecosystems instead of trying to control them. If you've ever wondered why some gardens seem to thrive effortlessly while others struggle despite constant inputs, you're about to find a missing piece of that puzzle. Before we go further, take a second to support the Garden Smart channel. Hit like, share this with someone who loves growing their own food, drop a comment with your thoughts or experience, and subscribe so you don't miss more deep dive guides like this. Now, let's get into it. Fermented plant juice isn't just about feeding plants, it's about feeding the entire soil ecosystem. Korean natural farming operates on the belief that soil is alive, and when you nurture that life, plants take care of themselves. FPJ captures the vitality of fast-growing plants and transfers that energy into your garden. What sets this apart from synthetic fertilizers is the complexity. Instead of isolated nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, FPJ delivers enzymes, amino acids, organic acids, and beneficial microbes all at once. These compounds don't force growth. They support it, enhancing the plant's natural processes rather than overriding them. So the effectiveness of FPJ really starts with what you harvest. Not all plants are equal in this process. The goal here is to select vigorous, fast-growing species that are actively pushing new growth. These plants usually contain higher concentrations of growth hormones and nutrients. Timing matters just as much as selection. Early morning harvests are ideal because that's when plants are at their peak metabolic activity. You want to look for young shoots, tender leaves, and growth tips, rather than mature, woody material. This is where, the energy is really concentrated. Local plants are always the best choice. They're already adapted to your environment, which means the microbial life associated with them will integrate seamlessly into your soil. So, making FPJ is simple, but honestly, understanding what's happening beneath the surface makes all the difference. Once plant material is mixed with brown sugar in equal weight, the sugar starts pulling moisture out of the plant cells through osmosis. This, in turn, creates a natural liquid environment where fermentation can actually occur. As the mixture sits, naturally occurring microbes begin breaking down complex plant compounds into simpler forms. This transformation, is what makes FPJ so effective. Nutrients become immediately available, and beneficial microorganisms multiply really rapidly. The environment must remain balanced. Too much heat can totally kill off helpful microbes, while too little just slows the process. A breathable cover allows gases to escape without letting contaminants in. Within about a week, the mixture becomes rich, dark, and aromatic. That sweet, slightly fermented scent is actually a sign of success. So, one of the most overlooked aspects of FPJ is actually its microbial content. When you apply it to soil, it introduces this thriving population of beneficial bacteria and yeasts. These organisms, they help break down organic matter, cycle nutrients, and even improve soil structure. Healthy soil biology, it really creates a kind of chain reaction. Roots start growing deeper, water retention gets better, and plants just become more resilient to stress. And, over time, This actually reduces the need for any external inputs because the whole system begins sustaining itself. This is where, honestly, a lot of gardeners notice the biggest transformation. It's not just about having bigger plants. It's about building healthier ecosystems that, require way less intervention. So FPJ is super concentrated, which really means that less is more. Dilution is absolutely essential here. Just a small amount mixed with water is enough to deliver some pretty powerful results. If you apply it too strongly, it can actually overwhelm your plants, rather than help them. During vegetative growth, plants really benefit from regular applications that support leaf and stem development. But as your plants transition into flowering and fruiting stages, it's important to reduce how often you apply it. Too much nitrogen at this point can actually slow down fruit production. Applying FPJ to the soil helps build long-term fertility, while foliar applications offer quick absorption, especially during periods of stress. Using both methods gives you a balanced approach that supports your plant's immediate needs and their long-term health. So the real value of FPJ, or fermented plant juice, becomes clear over time. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that, can actually degrade soil quality, FPJ really builds it up. Organic matter increases, microbial diversity expands, and, honestly, the soil just becomes more structured and resilient. This kind of improvement leads to fewer pests and diseases, which is such a relief. Strong plants with balanced nutrition are naturally more resistant, so instead of always reacting to problems, you're actually preventing them just by maintaining a healthy system. Gardeners who adopt this method often notice that each growing season becomes easier, the soil keeps improving, plants grow stronger, and, the need for constant input just disappears. Beyond the garden, fermented plant juice actually offers significant savings. It uses materials that are often, freely available and totally eliminates the need for expensive fertilizers. Over time, this can really, drastically reduce your gardening costs. Environmentally, it reduces reliance on industrial agriculture products. There's no packaging waste, no chemical runoff, and, honestly, no energy-intensive manufacturing. It's a closed-loop system that works in harmony with nature. Fermented plant juice represents a shift in thinking. It's not about controlling nature, but, instead, partnering with it. By using what's already growing around you, you create a system that is both sustainable and really highly productive. Start small. Test different plants. Observe how your garden responds. This process is as much about learning as it is about growing. Over time, you'll develop a deeper understanding of your soil, your plants, and the natural cycles that support them. If you found this guide useful, make sure to subscribe to Garden Smart, share it with fellow growers, and leave a comment with your experience or questions. The more we share knowledge like this, the more we move toward healthier gardens and a more sustainable future.